Hey everybody, another video here for you on ancient Ohio. I've had 3 or 4 messages on this place over the past months. I have not documented this in my Ancient America series. I want to document all the Adena mounds. This is Indian Mound Reserve Park near Cedarville, and it's right down here. Here is where Indian Mound Reserve Park is located, and too bad there's such a generic name attached to this place. It's pretty fascinating. The ruins here lie above Massey's Creek, which runs right through it. There is one hilltop embankment type feature located right down here called the Pollock Works. We'll take a look at that in a second here. And then the other feature is a large Adena mound. This is called the Williamson Mound. It's located right down here. This looks like all other Adena mounds in shape and size and where it is located. It would certainly overlook the whole region around this area. But many Adena mounds in Ohio, and these are the fascinating ones. These are the ones that have the Great Lakes copper and the shell ornaments from the Gulf of Mexico, and really trade from all over the ancient United States. But the Williamson Mound here, probably built about 2,400 years ago, somewhere in that time frame. People were doing some pretty amazing thing, and these are the ones that the large skeletons are found in. But this place was probably just as important as the Miamisburg Mound. Other Adena mounds I have reported on, some of those are in the middle of cities, some of those are in the middle of neighborhoods. This one kind of off all by itself. Here is what they call the Williamson Mound, probably named after a landowner coming from the Adena culture. That's what we call it because we don't know what they called themselves. Here, just another ancient structure coming from this culture. A large stone was unearthed right near the base of this, I believe. I think that's where that comes from. But this looks like many other Adena mounds around the ancient United States. They're all different, how they are preserved, protected, or destroyed. But there is a plaque on the back of that stone right there. All these Adena mounds are in different settings. This one kind of back in the woods here. None of these woods would have been here when this place was flourishing. There would have been a plaza, other mounds, other structures here. It says this typical Adena mound was built approximately 2,500 to 2,000 years ago. Mounds such as these were used for either burials or lookouts. This mound stands 30 feet high and 140 feet in diameter, and I'm sure it's eroded away just a little bit, but these were built of stone and other materials to make them very durable. It says commonly Adena mounds were built in large open meadows close to water. The waterway provided the rock and the mud for the construction of the structure, but it would have been very cool to see what this place looked like when this place was flourishing. But at least we still have the mound today. I will leave this particular link below. I enjoyed this website, had some good pics here. And kind of an interactive view from the top of the mound. You notice the large stones on top. But that'll give you a view, and you can really only use your imagination to think what this place looked like maybe 2,000 years ago when there was people all around here. Well, that is another Adena mound coming from Ohio. I've covered many of these. Some of these are in settings and neighborhoods. Some of these have been totally destroyed. Some of them are well preserved in parks. But these are pretty fascinating places, and I'm not really sure if this place has ever been excavated, and you only got to wonder what's still under here. Just to give you a little idea of the different settings for these Adena mounds, here is one in Athens, Ohio, part of the Wolf Plains Mound Group, but right in the middle of a neighborhood here. Here's another place I covered probably a year ago. These are all just as important. This is called the Great Mound near Trenton, Middletown, but this one under trees, just totally lost to history here, but just as important as all the rest of them. Nobody visits this one. And that's kind of why I'm making this series, because a lot of important places like this just totally lost to history. This is in Hamilton County, Cherry Grove, near the Coldstream Golf Course, Country Club, whatever that is right there. But there was an Adena mound right down here that was totally lost to history called the Spearhead Mound. Here is what it looked like. They found maybe a 7-footer inside of here, and here is a tunnel that was built into this when it was going to be turned into a museum about 100 years ago or so. Here is a look inside the Spearhead Mound when they tunneled into it here. And there's even copper bracelets embedded in the ceiling right there. But large skeletons were found in here, and this is one of the more fascinating videos I've done. Totally destroyed in the 1940s. Here is a look at Massey's Creek, and these sheer limestone cliffs gave these two ancient ruins some natural protection, I would gather. But one interesting thing I found in here is this on the ground. Does that look a little bit like a face right there? Mouth, nose, eyes, headdress. Are my eyes just playing tricks on me? But these ancient cultures looked at natural formations, sometimes in a special way. I just thought I'd bring that up. Now let's take a look at the second set of ruins here. These are called the Pollock Works. Here is the large Adena mound right there. This earthwork embankment type feature is located on this ridge right here. Let's take a look at what that looked like in its original form. Here is one artist rendition of what this place might have looked like in its original form, an earthen embankment. They have this kind of slithering through here. There was some mounds here at the entrance and some crescent shape earthen embankments. That's very interesting, but let's go look at an original map here done by Squire and Davis in the 1840s here. Here is their mapping of the Pollock Works, 12 acres. They have 4 crescent shape earthen embankments at the entrance here, along with 3 mounds. What did that represent? Well, that's anybody's guess, but this place kind of lost to history. This Pollock's work, I just hadn't heard that much about it. One of many hilltop earthen embankment type features in Ohio. Just finishing up here, I want to go watch some golf. But it says Massey's Creek enters a narrow gorge just outside of Cedarville, Ohio. On a limestone plateau surrounded by 2 ancient courses of the river are a series of earthen walls and gateways. Here, archaeologist Robert Riordan of Wright State University has unearthed the story of a hilltop gated with stone and earth, briefly protected by a high wooden stockade, which was then burned by its builder in a great crescent of fire. And there was evidence that there was a stockade on top of here. It was burned and then reburied. Why'd they do that? Well, here is a word y'all love. Certainly had some ceremonial function. Here is a look at the Pollock Works today, this earthen embankment feature up on top of this ridge, and this must be near one of the front gateways. I will leave this link below, but it has a little video here, what they think this place might have looked like. 3 stone mounds and those arched earthenworks there. This is pretty interesting. I will leave the link below. But looking at the Pollock Works from overhead, do you get kind of an outline of where this feature was? It kind of looks like that right there to me. But this is a place, just looking from overhead, you would never know there is such a interesting history on that plateau. Also the Williamson Mound there in the background. 2 sites that were certainly connected. Maybe built, maybe 3,000 years ago at the most, but probably around the 2,500 year ago range. But that is another video coming from ancient America. I'm not aligned here. There you go. Hope you thought that was cool, and you all have a very nice day.